Hello and welcome everybody, this is not After the End, this is Crusader Kings 2 The Winter King, an amazing mod based on a novel set in the time of King Arthur Pendragon. Yes, the King Arthur, with the Excalibur myth and everything attached to it, you know, the Knights of the Round Table and so on and so forth. But I have never truly played, be it on or off camera, this mod in all of its depth. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to try and just learn it. And where could you learn it better than, and this is of course correct, on Tutorial Island itself. So the scenario, just, you know, for those that aren't aware, is a very, very detailed map. As you can see, look at this amount of provinces, absolutely insane. It is set in the time of the Salian migration, of the Frankish migration down into Gaul and, you know, what would then become France. It is the time of unrest in England as well as the Anglians and, you know, the Anglo-Saxons just in general, have landed on the shores of eastern England and are now threatening the old Brythonic lords and rulers. And of course, since this is based on a novel, The Winter King, set in this period, it includes King Arthur Pendragon. We could play as him, you know, in the Winter King start. He is a commander of a company, and then there's some scripted stuff going on there. I'll be real with you, I haven't played this mod in detail enough for me to feel comfortable to actually do this. Now what we are going to do is we're going to learn on Tutorial Island. We're going to play Ireland, but before we say anything else, I just want to say, for anybody that already is following the channel and has watched the Masalian series, the next season of that series will start in about 2 or 3 days, one of the two. I'll have to see what I can do about time and such, but you know, 2 or 3 days, and then we're going to be back in, well, the very dire future that we have left for ourselves there after what the new Patriarch just did. Anyway, all that aside, let's start in Tutorial Island. My goal in this playthrough is to roleplay as much as I can, because this mod is perfect for it, as well as actually starting to reform the Gaelic religion. The Irish will not fall to the Nicene threat, and as you can see here, they have already become Nicene, you know, in like, what, half the country? The way it works is that the Church, this is, you know, Christianity, is pushing into Ireland slowly but surely. Everybody's turning. But in the West, there is still a pretty good foothold. So the West is ruled by a Nicene king of the O'Brien dynasty, King Dawi-Tenga. I probably am mispronouncing everything, by the way, but Dawi-Tenga Uma of Connachta. And underneath him is a very interesting duke, because this duke is still under the Gaelic religion, King Éire of the Oifirach. I don't know what that actually, how you pronounce it, but Oifirach, let's just say like this, Senel. So we are the ruler of a small duchy over here, which is, you know, if you look at the normal CK2 map, is barely a county. And we are going to play this man, and we are going to get back the kingdomship under the supervision of good Gaelic king, and then we're going to go on and form the High Kingdom of Éire. Éire? I'm not even sure how I pronounce it, I'll be honest with you. But for the moment, and as you can see here, so just to explain this a bit, since this is on a way smaller scale, the kingdoms are just bigger icons of the duchies, and then the actual high kingdoms will be actually for you, interesting, for pagans over here, this is a king title, but it is actually like a king title, you know what I'm saying? Dumnonia, for example, is a kingdom, but it is actually just a duchy when it comes to, you know, its historical size, etc, etc. But as you go on and form the High Kingdom, you will become a normal king, you will do all of this, and as you can see here, the duchies and the counties are hilariously small. Now, what I'm going to do immediately, because I think we can turn this around right away, I will not give 1 centimeter of power to the Christians. King Dawi-Tenga Uma of Connachta, I'll be real with you, Connet? How do you pronounce that? I don't know. And we don't have a high priest right now, let's just get a druid here. Lord must choose his druid with care, for while all druids are wise, not all have specialized in the same teachings. A master of law, no, bring me a servant of the guards, thank you. Has that person arrived? Okay, I think we might just be searching for them. Look, as I said, I'm not too deep into the mod. Let's just go ahead, I'm gonna try to acquire a title. And then we're going to focus on the war focus, as we should, because we are a dutiful commander, a siege leader, a trained fighter, a hunter, gregarious, honest, brave, and content. But how can I be content when I hate my lord, and my lord hates me, for he is zealous, threatening my way of life? I must get rid of this 71-year-old man. He certainly has to go. And until then, this was part of my dynasty, but all of a sudden, it has, you know, left our hands. But I will bring it back then. As you can see here, we are primarily Christian here on this island now. Almost everybody being Christian. Some of the sub-vassals here, which is very nicely showing how divided Ireland is. Some of the sub-vassals are indeed still pagan. Now let's read up on the pagan, on the Gaelic religion here. Gaelic paganism is the animistic belief system adhered to by the Celtic peoples of Ireland and later Scotland. The Gaelic pantheon recognizes a dualism between the male tribal god and the female deity of the land. The Gaels believe in an extinct series of supernatural rulers who left behind a tradition of magic and rulership. Wonderful. It can be reformed. We can raid anywhere, at least in coastal regions. We can go on and pretty much do a lot of funny stuff, as well as actually reforming the religion. As you can see here, druidic leadership would be super cool. The head of the religion is elected from the most eligible druids, which means that every single druid in the land could become the new head of the religion. That is really cool. It's like the College of Cardinals, except for everyone. And then the Children of Danu. Units from counties following the true faith receive a land morale bonus. Characters perform a rite of passage upon reaching adulthood, and fleets can navigate through major rivers. Ship maintenance cost is reduced to 25%. So, once we form the High Kingdom, once we reform our religion, we will truly, and let me just, there you go. We will truly, we need this, you and you. Okay, so these three would be enough, but that is still a long way away. We are going to do our best to actually push out the Christians and really bring back Gaelic beliefs. There is, you know, Brythonic belief, for example, which is the classic belief of the Britons that lived here. The Druidic pagan faith of the Britons is an animistic faith, affirming belief in a pantheon of gods including Bel, Gwydion, Taranis, and Manawydan. Members of the priestly class are known as the Druids and are responsible for organizing rituals, sacrifices, divination, and judicial procedures. Now, the reason that I play in Ireland is because we're just, you know, lame, normal tribal rulers. Here you have High Tribal, which I think is like a stage in between feudalism. Yeah, there you go. So it makes it easier. Has government High Tribal. There you go. So we can adopt the High Tribal form, which I think would be very, very natural. I don't know what those two are, but they don't do anything, so don't worry about it. We have different forms of government here. The Germanic government type, apparently. Germanic government is similar to the Romanized despotic administration of the sub-Roman governments, but with a greater infusion of Germanic laws and customs. I see. So essentially, it works this way, that the people that were under Roman rule and still want to hold on to the principles of it, so the sub-Roman Brythonic and sub-Roman over here, are just bastards of that system. They can't actually simulate it well enough. I'm so happy, though, that we are not over here in this invasion. I wonder if King Arthur will actually rise. High Lord Arthur Pendragon of Darnach. He should rise and destroy all those standing in his way and hopefully throw out the Anglo-Saxons, but we'll see about that. For the time being, we shall just take this faction, and I will immediately, the number here is obviously bugged, but I will immediately call my family members, or at least one of them. The other one hopefully responds as well, as he is a servant. Ah, you're also a family member. Very nice. I will call them when it comes to defeating the Christians. Demand installation of the claimant right away. Let's do this. I am ready. And I also will educate my son myself, of course, and struggle, because that is what we have to do to succeed. We could worship the ancestors. Doesn't that cost money? I assumed it would. Apparently not. Make a sacrifice to your ancestors and ask for their aid regarding an important matter, such as relationships or prosperity. This can only be done every 10th year. I shall do it once I am king. Now, what you need to know about this mod, it runs incredibly quickly, so we're probably actually going to spend most of our time at peace at speed 4, but at war, probably at speed 2. You will see why. The Christians are spreading like a plague in the lands of southern Britain. The power of ancient religion is shrinking, especially in cities and larger settlements. This foolish Catholic fever will soon strike our land and much harder than we expected. Interesting. I've searched far and wide for a worthy druid to serve at my court. He will organize worship and sacrifices, divination and judicial procedure, encourage my warriors, and provide me counsel. At long last, one such man has arrived at my court, but I am not sure whether he is worthy. The ruler must choose his druid wisely, after all. Alright, okay, so it's a different, druid named Fingon that could appear. I assume it can be a terrible one or a good one. Take a look. He is awful. Good God, but I mean, he's the only one I have, and I like him, and he likes me. So at the very least, that's a good relationship that we got going there between ourselves. Yeah, look at this. I like him. He's a good person. Oh, and he's known for being disloyal? Or am I known for being disloyal? Wait a minute. Look at this. Yeah, I really hate him. I desire his realm. So I hate him for being disloyal, huh? Interesting. Where does it say that? Druid, Falconer, Zealous, Sprout. Oh, so the deceitful trait is now disloyal. Interesting. Very interesting. The druid presents himself to you in order to judge... Oh, I shouldn't have named him. Interesting. In order to judge of his talents, you request him to show you the subject he's most skillful at. Ah, interesting. And then there's another court druid title here. So you can have a different druid and a high priest. That is pretty cool. Interesting. Very interesting. I will name you the court druid. The crops are mature in the fields and the time for harvest has come. Autumn is here. So they give you these events whenever the season changes, because that gives you different events on your, you know, regions, on your provinces, which is really cool. This, as I said, this is incredibly in-depth. It's going to be a bit of a slower playthrough, even compared to Messalianism, because we are going to take a look at everything and all the traditions that we can, you know, follow. Tonight we shall celebrate Lugnaza and praise the gods for a good harvest. Alright, let's take a look at you. A shameful attempt at blackmail has not succeeded. No matter how many corrupted souls you have enticed to help carry out your plan, I will not give in without a fight. I'd rather die defending what is rightfully mine. Alright, well, so it shall be. Aelgan of Connachta Revolt has declared this image is so good. So, alright, we are now a rebel. And as you can see, all of those vassals that are of our religion, that do not bow to the god that has newly arrived on our island, all of them will support me in the struggle here, and all of them I shall call to aid. All of those are loyal to, well, you know, I mean, it's a direct split, if you think about it. It's a direct split between Christians and Gaelic pagans, and so it shall be. And so it shall be. Now, let's talk about actual commanders here. Let's talk about minor titles in general. I usually don't assign them, but I know that is lazy, and I shouldn't do it. So let me think about this, right? None of you are of my dynasty. Why can't I assign you? Interesting. I guess because it's a temporary title. You know what? Let's not assign a war council. It doesn't make any sense, does it? But what I could do, you kind of... How many druids? Oh my god, that is so cool. So once you reform the faith, you can literally have 100 druids. That is crazy. That is outrageously crazy. Wow. Alright, those are some decent commanders. I'll take it. Master of the Horse, Cupbearer. I don't even know. Do we have many horses here in Ireland? I don't feel like they had. Did they have any? Warden of the Wilds. The wardens are responsible for the royal hunting grounds and generally preserving and protecting the wild places from people, and the people from the wild places. The duties of his office are divided into wards: north, south, east, and west. Jeez. I wonder where George R. R. Martin got his idea from. I'm going to name you, my dear Chancellor. I'm going to name you the Warden of something. Wait, it didn't work? Oh, because I'm a temporary title. Alright, let's just win this war. And now you're going to see why we're running at speed 2. Because the movement at speed 2 is really adequate. I have a new heir. Oh, this technically counted as acquiring a title, I guess. Let's become a formidable fighter. You surely would be interested in that. Did I call all of them in? Yes. I need all of them to show up here real quick, please. Today I've been strolling through the woods and thinking about my family. Some of them are truly important to me, others not so much. In the end, I've certainly gained a better understanding of my feelings towards each one of them. Amelia est omnia proquam vivo et moriar. Probably something like, family is everything, life and death or something. Or in life and death? Not certain. But look at him, my father. Too bad, he has passed away. What did he die to? Natural death. Alright, and here they come. They will now join my war. Because we are tribal, of course. They will have to attach themselves. And I assume that this will be the beginning of everybody joining me. And indeed it is. Let's go. Let's do it. I am ready. Make me the Lord of Connacht. Connacht? I don't know how to... Oh, don't do that. I don't allow it. Nope, don't allow that. Hey, get out of there. I will now play as Elgach of Muhaidwa. He is a family member. What is our law here? Agnatic Elect of Gavelkind. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like it. I will vote for my son, though. Our righteous cause has attracted many supporters. This art is so good. Where did they get this from? It even got a... This is like a Germanic... The eagle. From... No, the raven, right? This is a raven supposed to be. From all over the realm. King Dawi Tenga Uma beware. Look at this, dude. That's what I'm here for. Let's go in there. They are winning the battle, but now we came in and... That was very loud. Let me just... Jesus. Is that effects or ambient, I wonder? But we won, ultimately. And as you can see here, fights are over on speed 2 within a minute. Because, well, the fights don't last for an eternity. You know, that's just the way it is. And we already are 85% into victory. What I would love is if I could get rid of this man. Then again, he will pass away naturally one way or another. We are losing respect among our fellow chieftains and tribesmen. Our levy size and vassal opinion have decreased. Can I see that? Disrespected ruler. A tribal ruler's ability to raise warriors and command respect among their vassals depends heavily on their martial skill and especially prestige, balanced against their realm's number of provinces, which makes it more difficult to exert their authority. High tribal rulers are less dependent on their personal characteristics and have significantly decreased bonuses and penalties than tribal rulers. I understand, so this is why you want to convert to the high tribal government, which requires us to be, let me see. My tribal ruling needs to have one of these buildings, or, and I assume once we become independent here as the ruler, we will get a different liege requirement. They're winter. It is getting colder and colder, and the first snow has fallen. People can no longer work in the fields, and soon the land will be covered in white. Winter has come. Tonight, the dead will walk among us in the dark while we celebrate Samhain. By the way, my apologies, in case you can hear the fan in the background. It's literally 35 degrees outside. Degrees Celsius, that is, and I am melting, so I need the fan or else I will pass away. It is crazy, seriously. The siege of Meich Seola tribe, that's probably not how I pronounce that. The siege of Meich Seola tribe is over. We have captured King Dawi Tenga Uma and rounded up several other members of the ruling family in the courtyard. It is time for us to decide what we shall do with them. Imprison King Dawi and everyone we can find. I shall be merciful, leave them be, or look Dawi Tenga Uma in chains, or lock him in chains, leave his family here. Absolutely. The war is over. He has been imprisoned. As you can see, it has a very similar mechanic to HIP, as in so far that, you know, when you get your capital holding siege down, there's a chance that everybody gets imprisoned. I will enforce my demands, and all of a sudden, we are the lord of these lands. I could sacrifice him? Wait, the Irish did this? Oh no, I always had a very peaceful image of the Irish, and apparently they sacrificed people? Good God. How dare they? We're going to sacrifice them for sure, but let me just take a look at levies control. These laws, because we have, you know, interesting laws here, these laws regulate the amount of combat training and discipline required from men who enlist or are pressed into the realm's levy. With more training, your warriors will be more confident and effective in the field of battle, but more time will be necessary to replace the losses. Oh! I don't think we want to go to higher right now because our levy is not that sizable to begin with. So, the way I see it, to become high tribal, which is probably important, we need medium tribal organization, which is pretty far away, I'll be honest with you. Show me the council considerations. We got one person voting yes. You know, I think I'm just gonna request council support there. Although, I'm not quite certain, I will admit. Now, let's take a look at the advisors here. I would like... You are a family member, yet you hate me so. Why would that be, huh? That you? Who is it? Show your face, coward. It's King Elgach, and he hates me because he wants control of Mail. Oh, I assume he wants control of land that is de jure his. Indeed, indeed. Alright, you know what? We shall do this. Make you happy. Yeah, there you go, beautiful. Make you happy and then put you on the council. One of the Christians just went with him, meaning that he is now underneath him, which is okay, in my books at least. And now I should be able, there you go. Yeah, he already likes me, you know, he's gonna be interested in glory. Oh, he hates that, huh? Spymaster Skadach. I think what we're gonna be doing here. First of all, let me check you. Are you also, do you desire? Yeah. Sure, you know what, let's rearrange this. We have to respect the people that serve underneath us. That is a fact, and that is also how this tribal land, you know, how they survived for this long. They never would have been able to actually survive had they not treated their vassals well. The way I see it, this is our primary duchy here, so we will take this under our direct control. Now you, my friend, if I executed you, would that give me any tyranny? I don't think it would. You know, I think I'm gonna execute you, I'll be honest with you. Interesting that he stayed in prison. We still need to get a new heir. I think I'm gonna go with Connell here. Alright, so far so good. You are Christian, you will never like me, and I cannot actually revoke your title because we do not have the law here. We would need... Ooh, wow. Can't do it before significant, that's crazy. Alright, tribal organization. Let's go over here again, because I want to request some council support. So that's 3 people voting for it, and I think that should be it already. We should be able to push it through with those votes. Alright, as I said, we're going to be fairly slow here because the game just runs that quickly. I will support you, thank you very much, I appreciate it. Both of you, I appreciate it. Let's go up to weak tribal organization, and I believe that this should do it. Alright, let's start the vote. 3 people have already voted in favor of it. Keep this under control right here. Hey, vote, please. Where's the last dude? Can you be voted? There you go. Have approved the institution of the weak tribal organization law. To get to the next zone, it's only 5 years. Oh, that's easy. I thought it would be 10 years of waiting, but it's only 5 years. And now let's worship the ancestors. Absolutely. You have decided to visit the shrine in the Holy Grove and make a sacrifice in the honor of your ancestors, hoping for their aid in return. What will you ask your forefathers? That's a very classic event from vanilla here. I recognize this. You know, just to reiterate this, I'm learning what this mod can do and what it wants me to do. And then I think we're gonna keep playing it. I mean, we're gonna go to after the end for the Mexican playthrough. That one is really interesting. I just needed a change of pace, and I think this mod is ideal for it. I think eventually we're gonna play Arthur. I just want to see how that goes. Guide my sword in battle. I think he is definitely somebody that is very battle-minded. He wants to be seen as a strong ruler. So let's get this done. You ask your ancestors for military power and prowess in battle. Now is the time to present your offering. What will you give them in return? Ah, I can just sacrifice them right here. Right. May the soul serve you well in the afterlife. Absolutely. The offering struggled violently when the druid and their disciples pushed it down on the offering stone. The ancestors will surely be pleased with such a vigorous servant. Now all you can do is wait and hope. Alright, please give me your blessing. Now he obviously hates me. I mean, you know, very, very obvious reasons. Can't even assassinate them. Like, it's not likely that we would be able to do this. Spring. The snow is retreating, the air is warmer, and the days are getting longer as winter comes to an end. The spring season has arrived. Tonight we shall celebrate Imbolc and the end of winter. Alright, now with that being said, in the next episode we will start raiding, we will start conquering, we will start destroying. And we will hopefully be able to get, you know, closer and closer towards reforming the Gaelic church or the Gaelic religion. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Check this mod out if you haven't already. It is incredibly in-depth and it plays very, very nice if you want to roleplay. What I need to do, by the way, I need to put these fellas into some positions at the very least. Why do you hate me so? Weak ruler, vassal, excuse you. Am I like an extremely weak ruler now? Oh my goodness. I am an extremely weak ruler. Alright, you know what? I'm going to put you onto the council then, so that you don't hate me that much anymore. You both hold land. I will not push you out. And you should not serve on my council. Neither of those Christians should. Alright, I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more like this. And if you're hyped for the Massalian series, because that one will continue. Later, alligator.